What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Look, I'm gonna keep this as short as possible, and this video is just to recap the vending machine anime that I missed because who the fuck watched the vending machine anime, bro? But like, I heard some crazy shit happened in it, but I will not watch that anime. So, do y'all want to watch it with me? I figure like y'all want to watch it with me. Well, if you clicked on the video, of course you want to watch it with me. Anyway, I'm not finna waste your time. Let's get it.
The lake, as our hero finds.
Before anything, shout out Recap Kun. Damn, I'm gonna get there one day. Damn, but go subscribe to him. He don't. Damn. Damn. Big subscribers, big subscribe count.
The story begins by the lake, as our hero finds the surroundings unfamiliar. He suddenly remembers he was driving along on his scooter when a vending machine ahead of him got loose, and it ends up smashing into him. He is surprised he is still alive.
Look, I'm not finna pause that much, but hey, that was funny as hell. That was hilarious.
But he soon finds he is unable to move. He suddenly hears his voice, welcoming customers to use him. He realizes he has been reincarnated as a vending machine. We learn he was actually a vending machine fanatic, so he is surprisingly happy about his new form.
A vending machine fanatic? Okay. Nigga put his shit in the slide of the vending machine and be like, oh, vending machine coon. Oh, vending machine coon. Okay, I'll stop. I'ma stop.
He his points until he can get a more steady income. But he realizes he is in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, we skipped some shit.
So he spends 10 points, and the milk teas appear inside him. It seems he can gain 1 point per 100 yen, and as he learns more about himself, he finds he doesn't require electricity for power, but he consumes his points for power instead. He uses 1 point per hour, which means he uses 24 points per day. Since he still has 990 points, he can operate for about a month. But he thinks he shouldn't waste his points until he can get a more steady income. But he realizes he is in the middle of nowhere, and after a day, he starts to panic, thinking he is doomed, because no one will ever use him. However, at that moment, a giant frog appears. It approaches him, but it gets startled by his voice welcoming it. The frog starts attacking him with its club, and his
get the fuck back. Why you just start smacking shit?
Durability gets lowered. He learns that if his durability reaches 0, he will break and become unusable.
How does he learn that? How do you know that? If you didn't die after the first hit, how the fuck did you feel any of this?
The frog keeps on attacking him, and he sees it.
Damn, he is beating the shit out of him. He is so mad.
His durability rapidly decreasing. He notices there is a magic stat, so he is surprised there is magic in this world.
You not finna tell me this nigga finna use magic.
With his points, so he thinks he can just wait for the frog to get bored. But the frog suddenly calls his friend.
That nigga called his friends to jump him. Why this one got an axe? Why the one with the axe special? Someone explain to me that. What makes this one in the middle with the fucking fur coat and an axe so special?
Seeing the frog's axe, he starts to panic, and he tries to find a function that will save him, but there is nothing useful. The frogs keep beating him up.
They are beating the shit out of him.
He notices he can gain a blessing from God.
Awaken to a world of wonder in Final Fantasy XIV Online.
He is able to choose.
Y'all gonna play Final Fantasy XIV online? You said no? Me neither.
From a number of different abilities, so he gains the barrier ability, and he is able to push the frogs away. He thinks
okay, this nigga said the barrier. Okay, how the fuck did this vending machine get barrier fruit? Where the fuck did the barrier no me come from?
But his points start decreasing rapidly as the frogs keep on attacking him.
They're still beating his ass. Damn.
And he manages to survive. He uses his points to repair his durability, and we see he is down to 311 points. A few days later, he still hasn't.
I'm not finna do the math, but he had 990 points, right? He didn't gain any points. The frogs beat him for a solid day and a half. And he was losing points rapidly too. Like he was losing like 10 points. He was losing like 10, 20 points per minute, bro. He was losing a bunch of points per minute, like at least 10 points per minute. I'm not finna do the math for you, but he should have been gone. He should have been gone.
Been able to sell anything, but a girl suddenly appears. She is on alert at first.
Why is she finna box the fucking vending machine? Why is she standing up?
But she notes how she is starving, saying,
"How you stand still but you starving too? Why your titties out? Whose lost child is this?"
she isn't cut out to be a hunter. It seems she was hunting the frogs, but she hasn't had any luck. She notices the vending machine, but she is unfamiliar with what it can do.
They was finna turn this shit into a different anime than frogs, I'm telling you.
And telling her to insert a coin. The girl wonders what kind of coins it takes. She tries a copper coin, but it's not accepted, and he learns he needs to acquire the coin conversion function to accept it. He
it's your fault.
The skill for 100 points, and his price is changed.
How does he have 100 points? That nigga should not have 100 points. He should. It's been several days since he had 330. That nigga should be dead. First 4 minutes, this nigga should be gone.
Change, allowing the girl to realize it will cost her 1 silver coin. She thinks it's expensive, but she decides to try it anyway because she is starving. He becomes excited to finally have his first sale, and the girl chooses his soup item. She takes it out from him, and she is surprised it is still hot. She tastes the soup, and she finds it delicious, saying it's better than anything else that's around. He is overwhelmed with pleasure to bring her such joy, and the girl wonders what other items he has. She enjoys his milk tea as well, and she ends up buying a few more corn soups. So he ended up making about 6 silver coins, which convert.
She drinking that nigga milk. Okay, I'll stop. At least with that one, I'll stop with that one.
Eating multiple cans, and he manages to recover back up to 320 points. They make it back to the village.
Damn.
The guards wonder what she has brought back. She explains it as a magical tool that can grant items in exchange for money, saying she found it by the lake. She wonders if it's okay to keep, and the guards mention it's normal for whoever finds something in a dungeon to become its rightful owner, and Boxo wonders.
She literally just said she found it by the lake. You stupid fucking bitch. What is wrong with you? You stupid bald bitch. Okay, I'm sorry. That wasn't called for. That wasn't called for.
If they are in a dungeon, but thinks it's not possible because he is able to see the sky. The guards are surprised he can talk, so they think he could be sold for a high price, but Llamas says she is taking him to meet her friend. The guards try buying from him, and they are instantly impressed, going on to try all of his items. They tell Llamas to bring him around once in a while, and Boxo thinks business is looking up. They get inside the village, and Llamas notices a girl being bullied. She beats up one of the thugs, but we see that despite her strength, she struggles to land a hit on the man. The men decide to run away, and Llamas checks up on the girl. Llamas goes to the inn, and her friend Manami rushes to her, glad that she returned unharmed. It seems Llamas was left behind.
Llamas got hoes? Okay, Llamas.
But Manami tells her she has helped her spread bad rumors about them. She turns her attention to Boxo, and she thinks Llamas has brought back more junk, but Llamas claims he is super useful. As Llamas sets him up outside, Manami knows she wants to go to the surface to show Boxo off to her friend, but Manami wonders how she will pay for the transfer circle. Despite being able to see the sky, they are apparently in a dungeon called the Clearflow Lake. It seems a transfer circle is required to leave, but it seems Llamas has spent all her money on his items. Manami.
How long was she out there? all her money? All of it. Damn.
Tells Llamas to make some money working at her inn, and she hopes Boxo will also help to attract customers. The people are soon attracted by how good his items are, and he is able to sell quite a lot. At night, Llamas takes him over to the guards at the gate.
Damn, she carried him up there?
His items, so he thinks it's time he added some new items. It seems he has been able to sell over 400 items, and he now has over 3,000 points.
I'm keeping track of this nigga's points, by the way, y'all. This nigga's fucking cheating. Like, at some point, there's no need. I know there's some point there's no need. And all y'all niggas out there is like, it's not that deep. It is that deep to me. It is to me.
He suddenly glows, and the guard is surprised to see there is a new item. It costs 3 silver coins.
Damn.
The guard is excited to try something new. They wonder how to eat it, but there are luckily instructions on the can. It turns out to be stew, and the guards are impressed by the delicious flavors, wanting to buy even more.
Why is it cooked?
After a few days, word about his new item spreads around
How is
the
it
village,
cooked?
and it seems to be a big hit. But during the day he makes it unavailable, so he doesn't compete with the inn's restaurant business. The girl that Llamas saved approaches him, but she gets startled by his voice, so she throws a rock at him and runs away. Their days continue, as Llamas takes him over to the guards at night. She talks to him as they walk, and she hopes they can talk for real one day, which is why they need to get to her friend on the surface. Llamas is glad to have found him, and he thinks that being reincarnated.
I just thought of it, bro. How mad would you be if, like, this entire day you went to the Coke machine and then the Coke machine is right there by your business, right? And at night, some bitch ass fucking blonde headed bimbo gets the machine, takes it up, and then they put it somewhere else at night. So when you go to the spot that it's supposed to be at, it's not there anymore. How mad would you be? I'd be mad if they changed vending machines locations at night. That shit sounds like it'd be a pet peeve of mine. I'm not gonna lie. Sound like it's too much work, and it sound like I'm hating. It actually sound like I'm hating. Not even gonna lie to you.
As a vending machine isn't so bad. The next day, Boxo is terrified when he finds himself confronted by a bear, but the bear actually—
The fuck is a bear doing
the
here?
Hunters Association.
He's the director?
To start my second life, the farming life that I wished for.
I didn't wish for this. Fuck
He
you.
is impressed seeing Boxo, and he is there to ask for their help. He mentions that they are planning to attack the base of the frog monsters, and he wants them to come along. Llamas—
Bro, the frog monsters are not that pressing. Also, the fuck is like Father Bernstein Bear doing y'all as y'all like? He's y'all guild master? What does he do? Is he just a bear? Like, does he have magic or some shit? Is there like a fucking gang of talking bears out there or something? I don't know.
wonders why he wants to bring Boxo, since he can't fight.
I'm saying.
The director says his ability to provide warm and ready-to-eat food on the go would be
You still have to pay for it, nigga. What?
valuable for the hunters, and he promises—
You could do that with like cafeteria workers and shit. Where's y'all ration squad? It's like a war, right? Where's y'all ration squad? It's a whole guild thing. Why y'all need a vending machine that's not gonna feed y'all niggas?
to keep them safe. Llamas isn't too sure, but Boxo thinks if they ignore the frog monsters, it might end up being dangerous for the village, so he agrees to go.
How do you know anything? They beat your ass. You don't have any measurement on strength whatsoever in this world. You stand in one place. This nigga has absolutely no knowledge of this world whatsoever. He stood in a place and moved from 3 locations so far.
They head off 3 days later, and we learn that it seems to be breeding season for the frogs, so there are an abnormally high number of—
These niggas are the same person. They literally I'm not letting them get the way. These are like, normally these models are far enough apart where we have to pick it apart. This anime is so cheap, and thinks y'all intelligence is so short, so smooth brain. This not me. This the anime things, cause like these are the same nigga. Look at that. That's just wild to me.
Of them, and according to the director, they are making sure to protect the transfer circle.
I'm just having fun, y'all. I'm sorry.
Because it's the key to getting in and out of the dungeon. Besides the hunters from the village, there are also a group of hunters known as the Misfits who are joining in on this raid, excited to make some money. The hunters take a break, and Llama sets Boxo down.
Money.
She is approached by one of the hunters, who tells her not to be so worried.
This nigga looks so cold, but I feel like he is not gonna do shit in this anime.
Because they are there to protect them. He is interested seeing Boxo, and Llamas explains how to use him. The man decides to try it out, picking out a lemon tea, and he is impressed by the packaging. The man tries the drink, and he finds it delicious. He wonders where it all comes from, but Llamas mentions Boxo seems to just refill himself. The man becomes even more interested, so he calls over his vice captain Filmina. She addresses him as Captain Kelroy, and Boxo is surprised to learn that he was the boss. Kelroy calls Filmina an expert about magic tools, so he asks her if she knows anything more about Boxo. She takes a look at him, but she...
Hey, I've been quiet until now, but that's only because Filmina been on the screen, bro. Filmina can get it. Look how she looking at me. She knows I'm talking shit. She know, baby, you bad as fuck. She know. She's so bad. Look at her. I want that.
She ends up sensing no magic power from him, saying he just seems like a block of iron. Kelroy mentions how he magically seems to refill himself, thinking the items could be coming from another dimension, and Filmina suggests it could be the power of a blessing, but she finds it unlikely. Kelroy thinks it's a mystery, but decides to just be thankful to have him there. The director tells them they are camping for the night, and Boxo thinks it's his time to shine. Everyone lines up to buy from him, and we see he has added cup noodles for this expedition. Everyone finds it delicious, and Boxo takes note of a girl that seems to have a big appetite. Llamas gets to know her, and she introduces herself as Sui. Later at
I was gonna say something and be like, why the fuck Boxo taking note of a girl? But like, it took me a second to think about something, and I couldn't really think of nothing. Continue.
At night, the director joins them, and he tells Llamas the frog den is about 3 hours away. He gives her the choice to either stay at the camp or join the hunters on the battlefield. Llamas is okay with going since she is a hunter herself, but she worries about Boxo. However, Boxo says he doesn't mind, so they agree to join the battle as well. The next day...
Why would they join the battle? That's where I'm talking. Like, what the fuck is this vending machine gonna fight? How is he gonna fight? Throw noodles in somebody's face? Fucking spit forks at somebody's knees? Fork their kneecaps? He gonna fork somebody's kneecaps? What?
They reach the frog base, but there is a thick mist, and they are walking through mud. The director...
Look at that! You're putting so much weight on your shoulders, making yourself sink. Why would you carry him? Just leave him there.
Tells them to attack, and we see the hunters taking out the frogs. Kelroy tells his team they will get paid extra the more they kill, so they get fired up. Llamas wants to do her best, but Boxo worries for her because she has trouble landing her hits.
Bro, these ads finna have to stop. Like,
question every time I walked this way when I was a kid.
Hey, we don't care.
The frog
Sponsor me.
Jumps at her,
we don't care.
but she easily blows it away.
She easily blew that nigga away? She blowing frogs? Llamas, you're nasty. I'm stop.
She is surprised she landed a hit, and it seems having Boxo on her back is giving her better balance.
Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. You're telling me what's throwing her balance off? Her power? The natural ability of her muscles? Cause that doesn't work. What? What?
See the Misfits team taking out the frogs, and Filmina uses water magic.
Yeah, Filmina using water magic. Filmina, baby, getting away from me. Yeah.
To take out 3 at
yeah,
once.
baby.
Even more frogs appear, and Kelroy finds it strange that there are so many. We see they are surrounded, and Boxo starts to get worried. The frogs charge at them, and Sui protects Llamas. But there is suddenly a frog that lunges for Sui. Llamas prepares to protect her, but Boxo's barrier blows the frog away. The girls are confused seeing the barrier, wondering what's going on, but Boxo is glad he protected them. He buys a new ability for 1,000 points to help expand his field of view. Llamas tells him to watch her back, and Kelroy compliments her on her strength. Llamas blushes hearing this, and Boxo warns her they are being attacked, but she is too distracted to hear him, so he ends up using his barrier again to blow them away. Kelroy is surprised seeing the barrier, and Llamas claims it must be Boxo's power, which makes Kelroy even more interested in him. But Boxo feels he might be dangerous. They end up beating all the frogs, and Kelroy tells his
Boxo, this nigga did literally nothing besides talk shit. He literally gave orders. What has he done that leads you to believe that he's dangerous? Because he got a bad bitch under his control? That it? That's my bad bitch. Don't give my bitch to him, Boxo. Fuck you.
Team to cut their tongues so they can get.
Look at her. Look at her. Look at her working them hands. She's still the finest in this fucking picture. Filmina, I see you.
Paid by the association. Filmina tells him to help, saying it's gross.
That shit she got over her hands. That's my. That's my. That's my.
But Kelroy claims he became the captain so he wouldn't need to deal with that, causing his team to call him a tyrant. They wonder what they should do next, and Kelroy suggests they could help out on the front lines. Filmina reminds him their job is to protect Llamas and Boxo. Kelroy wants to make more money, saying he can give them all a bonus, and Filmina suggests it's up to Llamas.
Nigga, that's your, you do realize you just said he can give him all the bonus on top of the bonus they're already getting for killing her. See, baby, I got you. Look, she mad. She want our money. The fuck, Kelroy? Hey, pay my baby.
Begs Llamas to go, and Llamas is happy to help the hunters on the front lines. They take out some more frogs.
Okay,
and there are a
Kelroy.
bunch of hunters that are injured.
Wasn't familiar with your game.
Wagon, and Boxo thinks about how he can help. He comes up with an idea, and he decides to give them some drinks for free. The hunters are glad to have him, and the director thanks Kelroy for coming to their rescue. The director notes that there were twice as many frogs as expected, and Llamas wonders how it's possible. The director thinks it must mean that the Frog King has arisen, and Boxo imagines how strong it could be. The director asks for Kelroy's help to defeat it, and he tells Llamas to stay behind to help treat and feed the wounded hunters. Later that night, Llamas gets called away to help some of the other hunters, but there is a shady man that approaches Boxo. Boxo realizes he is after his money, so he gives him a free drink. But as the man tries to grab it, he burns the man's hand with a hot soup. Boxo laughs at him, but the man prepares to bust him
Bro, don't tell me this vending machine finessed you.
open. However, Llamas returns just in time, and she ends up knocking him out, and the man is restrained.
Oh, but she can throw hands with this nigga. She can throw hands with this nigga perfectly fine. No, bitch, you just ass. You just ass and you finding excuses. That's that right there. Boxer wasn't on your back. You could throw hands with him. Is it because you were perfectly point blank with him? You were melee range? Nigga, just get in melee range. What's wrong with you?
There is a disturbance in the distance, and the Frog King suddenly appears. The hunters wonder why it's there, and they all start to panic. Llamas loads Boxo on the wagon, but the pigs are too scared to move. Llamas ends up letting them go, and the hunters wonder what she is doing.
What?
She ends up trying to pull the wagon with her strength.
What?
Boxo wonders what he should do, thinking his barrier isn't enough to save everyone.
That's crazy.
He tries to think of a way to slow down the monster.
Your barrier so far has no limit to what it can stop. So far, as long as they keep giving you money, your barrier can be erected as long as you have the points to take the damage. What makes you think your barrier would not be crazy helpful right now, Boxo?
Looking through his item list for ideas, he ends up buying Coke, and Llamas thinks he has a plan. They grab the Coke, and he buys the form change function, turning himself into a candy machine. He is filled with Mentos, and Llamas wonders what she needs to do. He struggles to explain his plan since he can't talk properly, so he just keeps telling her to insert coin. She doesn't understand what he is trying to tell her, and the Frog King approaches. The hunter thinks he must be broken, but Llamas can tell Boxo is trying his best. There's nothing Boxo can do, but the thief suddenly wakes up, seeing the Frog King, and he demands to be freed, not wanting to die. But a hunter stuffs his mouth to shut him up, but he starts to choke, so they give him some of the coke, causing him to explode.
He died!
She figures out Boxo's plan. She explains it to the other hunters, and they end up using the coke to blast the frog in its eyes. Kelroy and the director make it back in time, and they manage to take out the Frog King. They all celebrate, and the director apologizes to Llamas for putting her in danger, and he thanks Boxo for saving them all, telling them their mission is complete.
Damn, Boxo.
Big
Big Boxo coming in clutch.
They suddenly notice that the village was attacked.
Damn.
Llamas rushes back to the inn, but it's been completely destroyed, and she worries about Manami. However, Boxo manages to calm her down, and Llamas thinks Manami could have evacuated to the Hunters Association. We see a giant double-headed snake, which was responsible for all the damage, and Llamas finds the two guards. She asks about Manami and her mother, and the guards tell her they are safe inside. We see that the building is well guarded, because it's where the transfer circle is located. Manami welcomes Llamas back, and they are happy everyone is safe. Boxo thinks about helping the people, and he decides to give them all free items for the day. At night,
They ain't gonna
we
have
learn that the
nothing
snake
left.
is normally the natural enemy of the frog monsters, and Boxo is surprised to see the villagers cooking it up for food. There's a huge line since he's giving away free items, and it even helps attract some new faces. He thinks it will make him even more money in the long run, and we see he has even started
Possibly.
selling alcohol.
Businessman.
Llamas gets a bit drunk, happy that everything turned out well. She is also happy seeing everyone gathered around him, and she thinks he has become an integral part of their lives. The next day, the people start the repairs, and Boxo is set up at the association, where there are plenty of people around. Llamas visits him, mentioning that the director gave her a personal request, and it's to help with removing the rubble. She takes Boxo over to the inn, and she starts moving the rocks, easily smashing them into pieces. Her cart gets full, and she prepares to take it to the dump, but Kelroy suddenly appears.
Love games, but hate the grind? With Wiimote,
No,
you can
no,
be invincible,
no, bro.
unimaginably
No, bro. That's
He
stupid.
offers to treat everyone to
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. If you love games but hate the grind, the fuck are you gaming for? That don't even make any sense for real. That was stupid as hell. You love games but you hate grinding? What? Why do you love games? Grind is a part of the game, bro. You grind so you can beat the boss. And you beat the boss so you can get that satisfaction of I beat your fucking ass. That's the game, bro.
some of Boxo's items. Llamas gets excited, and Kelroy tries to recruit her to his team, along with Boxo, but she instantly refuses. Kelroy walks off rejected, and Llamas says she's too busy with helping rebuild the inn. The next day, Boxo is visited by a woman and her assistant. Llamas wonders who they are, and the woman introduces herself as Akawi from the exchange house. She mentions they are there because it seems the village is low on silver coins. Llamas thinks it must be
That nigga Boxo is literally taking the coins out of the economy. That is hilarious. All the money that they have been buying, the 3 silver coins, the 1 silver coin ramens and shit, that has straight up been removing money from the economy because he's not putting it back into it like a proper business should. That is hilarious.
because Boxo
And it's even more so because they don't have the concept of inflation or none of that shit. So they're like, what the fuck is going on with our economy? And only like the financial people know that the money is missing, but they don't really know how to correct it. They just want to know where it's going because it feels like it's being embezzled. But they don't understand the ramifications of worse. The money is just gone. Literally converted to magic power. You have to make more.
only takes silver coins, and he can't believe she ratted him out. Akawi proposes exchanging for her gold coins, but
There's
Boxo
nothing they can
isn't able
do.
to do it since he doesn't have an exchange function.
Buy one.
Thomas suggests they could just buy something with a gold coin, and they will be able to get the silver coins as change. They end up with a whole chest full of silver coins, but the thief sees their exchange. Later on, we see an old man in front of Boxo, and we see he has added a lottery function. The man is devastated when he loses, wanting to spin again, but he ends up getting dragged off by his wife. The young girl Sayori visits with a bunch of rocks to cause trouble, but she drops—
Bro, what the fuck do your little badass want? It always be kids like that too with nothing else to do. And you know what's crazy is? She just needs somebody to play with, bro. She really do. Look how she alone. There's nobody else that want to play with her. That's probably the only. She probably like one of the only people around the village. Only kids around her age. Everybody else is either too young or too old. That's sad.
It's them all when she is startled by his voice, and she gets carried off by some men. As she approaches again the next day, she is disappointed that her father is away. Boxo can tell she is feeling down, so he gives her a free juice, and she thanks him. At night, Boxo gets set up at the bathhouse.
What is he doing there?
Hygiene products like shampoo, and he seems to be a big hit with the furry creatures. The next day, the old man is back, and this time with his granddaughter. He teaches her about the lottery function, and the girl is excited to try. She actually ends up winning, and her grandfather can't believe it. She gets an item for free, but she ends up just giving it to her grandfather to make him happy, saying she had a great time with him, and it seems Boxo rigged it for her. The next day, the director approaches Boxo.
Good.
He heard that Boxo now has the ability to disguise himself, so he asks him to hide out where a bunch of crimes have been taking place, so he can help identify the culprit.
See, I'm confused here because so far he can only tell him, please insert coin. How the fuck would he convey like culprits and like crimes and shit to you? Like, yeah, he can hide out. And yeah, he could be like, insert coin for they did it. But you already know that crime is taking place in these places. You just don't have the details to put anybody away. He's not going to give you those details. I don't know what you want from him.
He ends up being set up right outside the front of the association. Lamas wonders where he has gone, but Monami reminds her the director was—
Get off his fucking dick. Don't you have quests or something to do, broke bitch? Damn. I'm sorry, Lamas. You don't deserve that.
Borrowing him, so Lamas continues to help around the association. Boxo has a quiet day, but we see Sayori looking around for him. She runs into Lamas, and she wonders if she has given any more thought to her proposal. However, Lamas says she's not going to sell Boxo. Sayori's—
That's another problem I'm having with this. Like, they're picking and choosing when to give him sentience or not. Like, first it's like, oh, he's Sayori's item that she could sell and pawn off, and like they have to talk to Sayori specifically because she technically found him, which makes sense because he's a vending machine. But then they give Boxo sentience and treat him like Sayori does, and Sayori treats him like a regular person. Which is weird. Like, why the fuck would Sayori treat him like a regular person simply because he saved her? I don't understand it. Because she also picks and chooses when to like treat him like as a regular person versus when to give him sentience. Well, I mean, versus when to like give him like when to like sell him and shit and treat him like an item.
Says she would have enough money for the rest of her life, but Lamas refuses, saying Boxo is irreplaceable. Sayori wonders what Boxo truly is, but even Lamas isn't sure. She thinks that since he can understand and respond to everything, she sees him the same as another person.
See,
and Boxo—
exactly what I was talking about. Exactly what I was fucking talking about, bro. She treats him like another person. She sees him like another person. So why the fuck is she like having this conversation about selling him? Sometimes you see him like another person. You don't sometimes see anybody like another person. It doesn't work like that.
But Lamas refuses, saying Boxo is irreplaceable. Sayori wonders what Boxo truly is, but even Lamas isn't sure. She thinks that since he can understand and respond to everything, she sees him the same as another person, and Boxo is happy to hear she feels this way. Sayori declares she will get Boxo one way or another, but she leaves for the day, telling Lamas to take care of him until that day comes. Boxo reappears, and Lamas is shocked to see him, but she tells him she missed him, and she is excited to tell him about her day. The next day, we see Boxo as he gets wheeled around on a cart, but it turns out he has actually been kidnapped, and he wonders where he's being taken. A few hours earlier, We see Boxo getting approached by a group of men.
This nigga to the left, he look like Yami. I don't know if it's the chest plate. I don't know if it's the white shirt. I don't know if it's the gauntlets. This nigga look like Yami. Now look, nigga to the right, he look like the Saitama from Hunter x Hunter. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Nigga that fight gone. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Bald headed nigga. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
They tell him they were hired by the director to help reinforce the walls. So they tell him the director wants him to go with them so he can help feed the workers. Boxo notices the shady guy that tried to steal from him, but he thinks he must be reformed since he's working for the director.
Bless me.
He agrees to go with him.
Bless me. Damn. I'm allergic to that bullshit y'all talking. See, look, he looked like Saitama, except he got hair. Damn, now he look kind of like, I don't really got nobody. I don't really got nobody in mind.
Put him onto their cart, but after 8 hours, he comes to the realization of what's really going on. He wonders how far.
Bro, just rob him and leave.
Stop to have a break. While they are stopped, Boxo takes the chance to use his security camera to take photos of all of their faces. He's approached by the thief, and the man threatens him to give them food. Boxo refuses, so the man stabs him, causing him to take some damage. But the boss reprimands the thief, telling him not to damage the merchandise. The boss tells Boxo to hand over all his money, but Boxo refuses. They know Boxo is able to.
Y'all carried this nigga around for 8 fucking hours just to ask him to give you food and or money. What is, y'all are horrible bandits.
Repair himself, so the boss tells his men to rough him up.
Also, Boxo, just use your fucking, like, your barrier ability. Like, damn, yeah, you don't have to take this much damage. You're gonna use points to repair it anyway, so just don't take damage.
The men start bashing into him, and although the
don't take nigga, just use your barrier ability.
Damage isn't a lot, he wonders if there's anything he can do about it.
Your barrier ability.
He gets a notification that he can enhance his toughness
your barrier ability
by spending 1,000 points, and it instantly makes him tougher, reducing the damage from the attacks to 0. The boss notices that Boxo doesn't seem to be repairing, getting worried they may have broken him, but the thief assures him it's fine. Boxo gives them some drinks, and the man is relieved he is still working. They all try out the drink, but it turns out to be disgusting, because it was Boxo's lowest rated drink. They reach their base at night, and Boxo gets taken inside.
That's funny.
They tell a woman to take a look at him, but they get scared as she approaches, so they just throw her the instructions and quickly run away. The woman starts talking to Boxo, and he wonders if he should answer honestly. The woman introduces herself as Hulami, and Boxo recognizes her as Lamas's friend. She's actually a magic item engineer, and it turns out she was also kidnapped. Boxo starts talking to her, and she is instantly impressed to see a magic item that can understand and speak with people. She reads the instructions, and she soon figures out how he can communicate. Hulami reveals she has experimented with trying to give magic items human intelligence, but concluded it's not possible with their technology, so she started thinking about putting a
I was gonna make the comment, I'm gonna let them finish their talk.
Human soul into an item instead.
There it is. I was gonna talk about, have you ever thought about a philosopher's stone? They stole my fucking joke.
Boxo is amazed she figured it out, and Hulami says she needs a drink from all her excitement. Boxo gives her one of his milk teas, and she finds it delicious. They keep on talking, and Boxo confirms he actually has a human soul and has memories of his past. Hulami wonders why he requires money, because normal magic items don't require any.
So this is a World of Warcraft hardcore randomizer. All your abilities and talents are random, and you only get 1 life. Let's see how far we get. So you get to roll your first.
Boxo decides to show her, transforming into
Don't
his
ask
other
me what
form,
that was,
and
bro.
Hulami realizes he must use the money to gain additional functions.
Yep.
She wonders what else he can do, so he shows her his barrier skill. She thinks it's some kind of wall, but Boxo lets her pass through, and Hulami is amazed he can even use a blessing, but Boxo is impressed she is working everything out so quickly. Hulami goes to sleep, and Boxo wonders if the people in the village have noticed that he's missing. At that moment, the bandits return, wanting to get payback on Hulami for scaring them, but but Llamas
Chill, bro, chill. What the fuck, man? They want to get payback on healing me. What you mean?
transforming into his other form, and Hilami realizes he must use the money to gain additional functions. She wonders what else he's disappointed seeing a single loaf of bread, so Boxo decides to give her some of his food. He treats her to all kinds of different foods, and she thinks he is even better than a restaurant. Hilami is completely stuffed, but the boss enters, wanting to know what she has figured out. Hilami doesn't want to cooperate, but the boss tells her she has 2 days to figure out how to get Boxo's money, so Boxo thinks they need to find a way to escape before then. Hilami continues on with examining him, and their time is running out. Boxo thinks about making a distraction to give Hilami a chance to get away, but Hilami has a serious talk with him, telling him not to think about sacrificing himself, because the area is surrounded by monsters, so even if she got away, she wouldn't be able to survive. She gets tired, so she calls it for the night, but Boxo wonders what to do about their deadline. During the night, there is suddenly a commotion outside, so he quickly wakes Hilami up. They realize there's a fight going on outside, and they suddenly hear Llamas's voice. We see the fight outside, and Llamas calls for Boxo, charging into the building. Hilami is surprised that Boxo is friends with Llamas, and she thinks they should be fine to just wait to be rescued. But Hilami suddenly thinks they could be in trouble, because besides storing all their gold here, the bandits also have explosives. Boxo worries hearing this, and some of the explosives go off, causing the ceiling to come crashing down, but Boxo protects them with his barrier. Hilami wonders if he can hold the barrier forever, but he admits that he can't. He thinks he would survive being crushed since he upgraded his toughness, but he worries for Hilami. Hilami realizes that his ability must use money, so she points out the bandit's stash of gold. Boxo lets it through his barrier, and he jacks up the prices on all his items, while Hilami deposits all of the money into him. Boxo gains an insane number of points.
All them points?
He'll be able to hold out until Llamas saves them, but Hilami suddenly collapses. Boxo realizes she can't breathe, because his barrier also stops air from getting in. He thinks about what he can do, and he suddenly transforms, turning into an oxygen vending machine. Hilami is able to breathe, and Boxo
is that an actual thing? Oxygen vending machines?
Is glad he was a vending machine fanatic in his past, knowing that.
How does that have any? Okay.
In 1965, there were oxygen vending machines because there were concerns about air pollution. Hilami thinks she would fall for him if he were a man, and even Boxo is charmed by her. Llamas makes it to the.
She trying to fuck the vending machine. Oh my god, bro, what's happening? They trying to fuck the vending machine.
And she is overjoyed to finally find him. She slips through the barrier, crashing into.
They trying to fuck the vending machine.
Him, but she cries thinking she had lost him. She hugs onto him, apologizing for not watching him, and he is glad to be reunited with her.
Oh my god, bro.
Eventually realizes Hilami is also.
Damn, she tall.
Hilami is glad they got out safely. Filmina wonders why Kelroy helped out when there was no money involved. Kelroy says he's just a nice guy, but Filmina knows he is trying to gain a
certified baddie.
And Kelroy says they will achieve their dream by any means necessary. We see Llamas as a child, using her strength to catch fish with Hilami. Hilami thinks her parents will be happy, but we learn Llamas gets into trouble for constantly breaking things at home. She suddenly stands before Boxo, where she thanks him for saving her, but we see she is just dreaming.
It's not even that deep.
To leave her again.
It's not even that deep.
Hilami tells Boxo that after he was abducted, Llamas kept looking for him and didn't even sleep.
Oh my god, it's not that deep.
Revealing that their village was wiped out and Llamas lost her parents.
So she thinks
having her strength.
So she want to call the vending machine daddy? She want to call that vending machine daddy because she lost her parents. What the fuck? Okay. Sponsor me, sponsor me, sponsor me, sponsor me. Oh, that actually looks kind of interesting, bro. But sponsor me
to make a
for.
request from them, and he hopes that they will accept the request. Mentions their past, revealing that their village was wiped out and Llamas lost her parents. Despite having her strength, she was too scared to do anything, and it became her biggest regret. Boxo wants to do whatever he can to help her, and she dreams they'll be together forever. The next day,
You wanna fuck that vending machine so much, bro.
Llamas heads off to do some work. Hulami and Boxo get approached by Sui's bodyguards. The man tells them that Sui will be coming to make a request from them, and he hopes that they will accept the request.
Why?
The men panic as they hear Sui approaching, so they quickly leave. Sui introduces herself to Hulami, and she asks for a favor. Hulami wonders what she wants, and Sui explains there is a gathering of merchant families where they reveal their newest magic items. The organizer is her rival Kana, and she gets mad even thinking about her. Hulami thinks it sounds interesting, and Boxo agrees as well. They go over to the event, and Boxo looks around for Sui's rival. Sui approaches her, and they pretend to get along. Kana checks out the competition,
Bro, it's crazy that girls do that shit. Boys, when it comes to boys, it's on site boxing, gloves on, hands are being thrown. When it comes to girls, it's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful. Even though you did have that busted ass gap in your teeth in 6th grade, it's like, oh my god, Hannah, thank you. That means so much for me, coming from somebody who learned how to read at the age of 12. Oh my god, thank you. Like, the fuck, so many backhanded compliments and passive aggressive shit. Like, there's so much of it. It's like, it's what?
looking over at Hulami and Boxo, but she is confident she will win. The presentations begin, and we see the first participant show off his latest invention. He introduces it as a magic weapon that can transform. Hulami thinks it's a good idea, but it turns out he is just putting different attachments onto a stick.
Bro, I love this nigga. What's his name? What's his name? That's hilarious, bro. That nigga said it's a magic weapon that can transform. Spear, staff, axe. Nigga, you were just equipping different fucking heads to it. Wait a minute. Then he just gets the sharpener and he sharpens the end of it. Wooden spear.
And everyone is disappointed. After a number of other lackluster presentations, Hulami starts to get bored, but it comes to Kana's turn. Her engineer reveals a robot, claiming he has succeeded in a dream of giving intelligence to a magic item.
Oh shit.
Hulami is shocked, thinking he must have put someone's soul inside the robot, and she notes that it's banned by the Magic Engineer Association because it's too dangerous, mentioning that a whole town was destroyed in the past because of it. The robot impresses everyone as it can follow commands, but it suddenly starts to go wild, wanting to kill everyone. The man tries to turn it off, but he gets thrown away, as the robot blames him for awakening it. Hulami orders Sui's men to help out, but they all get thrown away. Hulami jumps onto it, targeting its magic seal, and she manages to turn it off, apologizing to the soul that was used. The crowd suddenly realizes who Hulami is, and we learn she has quite the reputation for being a troublemaker. Hulami claims all her incidents were from her youth, and Sui declares her victory over Kana. After some time, winter arrives and we see all—
That doesn't at all mean that Sui wins, because even if you want to make the argument of like Kana was Sui's only like competition, because Boxo is an amazing like artifact, Sui didn't compete. Like Kana at least competed, and like we don't know if she got disqualified or not, but like at least she competed. Sui didn't compete at all. What the fuck?
all of the town's restaurant owners in a meeting led by Munami. They discuss the arrival of a popular chain restaurant, and they worry about going out of business. Munami reveals Boxo as their secret weapon, and she bribes him by giving Llamas a discount at the inn. We see the restaurant has opened up, and they have a huge line of people wanting to get in. Llamas and Hilami go and try out the food, but they find it's pretty average, thinking it doesn't even compare to Boxo's food. Llamas thinks the food is bland, and Boxo thinks that it's because seasoning isn't cheap in this world, but this gives him an idea. In Munami's next meeting, she thinks that they need to come up with a new menu to save their customers. They all bring out their latest creations, and Llamas and Hilami taste test the food. They give suggestions on how to make it better, while Boxo transforms, giving them a sample of what it should taste like. All the owners rush to get advice, and they become inspired by Boxo's samples. We see that at the chain restaurant, all the owners have set up food stalls outside, offering their new dishes, and they start to...
Oh, they got short ribs, they got yakisoba, they got them corn dogs on the stick, the fair ones. Oh, they got it all, y'all. Funnel cake, they got it.
Attract the people waiting in line.
Fried pickles, fried Oreos.
The people are amazed by all the new foods, turning out to be
burgers.
A success, and the restaurant ends up going out of business and closing down. As all the owners
y'all closed the restaurant down?
Boxo.
Damn.
He tries to invite Boxo on a campaign, but Boxo instantly declines. Kelroy reminds him how he helped out when he got abducted, and Boxo considers changing his mind, but Kelroy tells him to talk it over with Llamas. Hulami thinks that most people would want the opportunity to join Kelroy's group.
Bit word of advice, y'all. That's a bitch ass move right there. True friends and true homies never bring up old shit they did for the past for you in order for you to do some shit for them. They will always just allow the choice to be yours. Yeah, some shit comes up in like life that interferes with you helping them, and they should understand that and be cool with that, even if they really, really need the help. They should still understand that stuff happens in life, that not everything is set in stone, and that like you want to help, but just you can't. Sometimes you just can't. You want to, but you can't. Like, but doing that shit like that, like what Kelroy just did, that, well, I helped you back in 01, so like, what was up with that? Like, you needed to move, I need to move, I don't see the problem. Like, yeah, but you need to move like across state, and I'd have to take off 3 days off of work, 3 days of which I really need because these bills are piling up. Fucking Gerald, what the fuck? Are you gonna pay my bills, and when my lights get turned off and my gas gets turned off, are you gonna come there for me? Because I don't think you are when you're fucking across country. I don't think you can. Gerald, I'm sorry, that wasn't nobody. There is no Gerald. If your name is Gerald out there, pay my bills. Fuck nigga, I see you.
And she wonders what Llamas wants. Llamas says she wants to fight so she can get stronger. But Hulami wonders if she is after revenge, and Boxo wants to help her in any way he can, turning into a flower machine, and he cheers Llamas up. Boxo thinks about what Hulami told him about Llamas's past, and as spring approaches, when the hunters will become active again, he wants to be able to protect her. He is suddenly approached by a girl.
No offensive abilities.
Behind him as the guards approach. The guard gets some stew, and his friend wonders why he keeps eating the same thing. But the guard insists it's his favorite. We learn that the girl is into him, but she's just too shy to make a move. Boxo decides to help her out.
That's a crazy side story.
And giving her some vegetables. He gives her a bunch of other ingredients as well, and she realizes he is telling her to cook the man his favorite stew. The girl thanks him, and we learn they ended up getting together. Spring arrives, and it's...
How the fuck does she know how to cook the stew? Where'd she learn the recipe?
Teams Llamas and Boxo have agreed to go on Kelroy's expedition. We learn they are going to check up on the crocodile monsters, since they are one of the 3 main monster factions in their area, and after dealing with the frog boss and the twin-head snake, they are going to check to see if the crocodile monsters have over-multiplied as well. The group prepares to leave, and Hulami reveals she is also going, saying that the director hired her to perform an ecology survey. They head off, and Kelroy is glad to finally get out of the town.
Kelroy, cool ass
nigga. They are attacked by some frog monsters, but the group easily fights them off. Llamas wants to get involved, and she thinks about throwing rocks. Boxo thinks throwing would be a good use of her strength, so he gives her a reinforced bottle to throw. She gives it her best, but she ends up completely missing. The group stops for a break, and they enjoy all of Boxo's food. They are glad they don't need to hunt for their food. Boxo shows off his new function, adding on an emergency box, and it turns out to contain the parts
I see why nobody watches this anime, bro.
The group thinks it's amazing, and
oh shit! Wait, my baby Femora. Hey, get back to my baby.
The group doesn't.
Hey, there she go.
They continue on.
Hey.
Kelroy mentions they are entering the crocodile's territory. He decides to send Akka and Shiro to scout, so they head off while the rest of the group waits. When they return, they report that they found a group of around 30 crocodiles. Hulami mentions that a normal group is between 10 to 50, and Kelvin thinks that since there aren't an abnormally large amount of them, they can just leave them alone. But Filmina mentions that the
What? Kel, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense. Baby, talk to some sense into him.
crocodiles go for a high price, so she wants to take them out.
Give my baby her money.
Kelroy ends up agreeing, and they decide to rest up for the night. As they sleep, we see Hulami telling Llamas to be careful. She wishes there was something she could do for the fight.
Bro, don't try to fuck this vending machine.
Mentioning the crocodiles are weak to the cold, and Boxo suddenly turns into an ice
Stop trying to get fucked, vending machine.
machine. Hulami gets an idea, wondering how much ice he can make, and we see Boxo dumping ice into the river the next day. The crocodiles end up all getting out from the cold, and Kelroy thinks this is their chance. He asks Filmina to create a fog, but she says she can't cover such a large area. They wonder what they should do, and Boxo
dry
turns
ice.
into another machine. He starts dumping dry ice into the river,
There you
and
go.
creates fog over the whole area. Kelroy tries to take credit once again, but Filmina says Boxo is more useful than him.
How the fuck are you going to take credit for a machine turning into a dry ice maker? Something I'm sure you don't even know the fucking concept to. How the fuck? Kelroy, shut your bitch ass up and go be a side character.
Kelroy gets depressed thinking.
Exactly. Sit your bitch ass down and just be a side character trying to take credit. Nigga, a vending machine is more useful than you. Baby girl knows it. I knows it. You ain't getting no poon. You ain't getting no nothing. No play nowhere.
But they end up heading off to hunt the crocodiles.
Yeah, look at him still sad. His ass is still sad.
Her real mission from the director is to investigate the appearances of
He
the
like,
boss
there go my
monsters.
screen time.
They're meant to be quite rare, but after 2 of them have appeared, she wonders if something is going on. There is suddenly a huge crash, and the group comes rushing back.
How the fuck? How far did y'all make it? Ooh, they look cold as
We
shit.
see Llamas unconscious, and they are
How far did y'all make? Damn, how far did y'all make that shit though?
being chased by the crocodile boss. Kelroy tells Hulami to jump on, but she doesn't want to leave Boxo. However, he pushes her away with his barrier, and Kelroy grabs onto her. Boxo transforms and starts making noise to grab the boss's attention. He upgrades his durability and his toughness, but he still gets blown away by the boss, and
Damn.
he loses 1,000 points from the hit. Boxo thinks his barrier won't be enough. He wants to protect the group, so he transforms once again, and he shoots some fried chicken lunches at the boss. The boss starts to eat it, so he spits out a whole mountain of them, but the boss ends up eating him in a single bite. Boxo finds himself inside the boss's stomach.
Okay,
He
inside the
notices his
stomach you can
points
do
are
some
rapidly
crazy shit.
decreasing. He transforms into a laundry dispenser, attacking with Tide Pods, and it starts to give the boss a stomachache. Boxo knows it's not enough, so he turns into a gas machine, and he fills the boss's insides with gas. He then turns into his heating mode, and he summons a can into his microwave. Together with some paper, he heats it all up, and he manages to start a fire. He shoots it out of his barrier, causing an enormous explosion, and we see Boxo is the only thing that remains. The boss drops a special coin, but as he takes it, the ground suddenly splits, and Boxo falls through the ground. As he
Damn.
falls, he thinks about what he can do.
Can't catch no
He
breaks.
transforms into a balloon vending machine, and he starts inflating balloons, and he is able to fill his barrier full of balloons. However, it's not enough to slow him down,
Yeah.
so he transforms into a cardboard vending machine and becomes much lighter. He finds there's a huge
Okay, now I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that one.
labyrinth beneath him, and he decides to use his camera to take some photos from above. He manages to land safely, and he notices the coin from the crocodile on the ground. He can't pick it up, so he uses it on unlocking some new functions. He is shocked to see he has over 1,000,000 points, and he realizes he must have got them from defeating the crocodile boss. He wonders what he can do with 1,000,000 points, and he sees he can level up his vending machine rank. He increases his rank to 2, boosting some of his stats and unlocking more options for his transformations. He transforms into a vacuum machine that you would see at a car wash, and he is able to suck up the boss's coin, but when he examines it, it doesn't seem to do anything at the moment. He suddenly starts flashing red, and he gets a warning that his transformation time for the day is about to exceed 2 hours. He quickly turns back to his original form, and he is shocked he had such a limitation. The day goes by, and he hasn't seen a single person go by, but he just enjoys his time in the sun, revealing that he added a new solar panel function that allows him to save his points when the sun is out. There are suddenly 4 bear creatures running toward him. It turns out they are being chased by pig fiends, and one of them is injured. Boxo decides to help them out, using his camouflage to hide. He then activates his barrier to shoot out drinks at the pigs, hitting them in the face and driving them off. The bears wonder what happened, and Boxo...
How hard can he shoot out his drinks? Cause like that shit drew blood.
Quickly reveals himself. They wonder what he is, but when he speaks, the bears are terrified and back away. Boxo thinks there is only hope, so he quickly transforms into a food machine and throws out a box of fried chicken. The bears admire the smell, and the one named Suko realizes he might be a box that sells food, but the leader Mikan worries it could be a trap. However, they just can't resist, and the one named Pel
could be poison, nigga.
Eats the chicken.
That's me for real.
Delicious.
That's me. Even though it's poison, that shit smell good. I'm eating it.
The other two rush over, buying another box, and they also find it delicious. So he also joins in.
Yep, go ahead.
Believe how good it tastes.
Yep.
After eating a whole mountain of chicken, Pel thinks they should go home, but Mikan says they haven't found any treasure yet.
Why are these niggas dressed in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX jackets? I just noticed that.
But Boxo tries to say that he won't be their property.
The motherfuckers dressed in Slifer red jackets.
When they hear him saying different lines, and they wonder if he can actually understand them. Boxo tries communicating with them, but in the end, Mikan can't work it out and thinks he is just saying random lines. They decide to take him back to the entrance, but he's way too heavy for them to move. Boxo thinks about turning into cardboard again. But
don't do that shit. What the fuck? Don't you dare do that stupid shit. I won't accept it a second time. The fuck you mean cardboard vending machine? That's stupid in more ways than one, and I'm not gonna explain it.
Scare them off, so he adds wheels to himself instead. The bears push him along, and they approach the area where the pig fiends attacked them earlier. Boxo decides to show off his barrier, but the bears start freaking out. He lets them out of his barrier, but they start to find him suspicious. Boxo tries to communicate with them again, using a new function to display text, but the bears can't understand Japanese, so they aren't able to read it. The bears think they should just leave him behind, but Boxo quickly drops more fried chicken, and they easily change their minds about him. The pig fiends suddenly come rushing over, and Boxo turns into a gas pump, but realizes he can't move his nozzle. However, the ground shakes, and the nozzle comes loose, allowing him to spread his gas, causing all the pigs to slip. But the ground keeps shaking as an enormous flaming skeleton recognizes it as the boss, and he tells the others to run. They rush away with Boxo, and the boss ends up eating the pigs. They manage to get away, and they end up spending the night in the labyrinth. While the bears sleep, Boxo notices some flaming skulls approaching. He makes as much noise as he can, and he manages to wake up the bears. Mikan says they need to deal with them, or they could end up calling the boss. They wonder how to fight them,
deal with Ghost Rider.
Boxo quickly gives them water.
There's no way.
The bears throw water on the skulls,
no, nigga.
and Mikan is able to finish them off. Pel thinks Boxo is
no, nigga,
since he helped them with exactly what they needed, and Boxo thinks this is his chance to communicate with them, but Mikan says it's just his imagination, saying it was a coincidence. The next day, they continue toward the entrance, but they hear a fight going on up ahead. Kuro runs up to scout ahead, and he returns to tell them it's safe, saying he saw the director
I don't believe him.
as well as an abnormally strong girl. We see Lamas as she defeats a pig fiend, calling out for Boxo. She sees
how the fuck can she hit shit when she want to hit shit, but then she be complaining that she can't hit shit normally? You're just ass, Lamas. Ass.
sees him approaching, and she instantly rushes to hug him.
Stop trying to fuck this vending machine. I'm tired of it.
We see Hulami and Kelroy's group are also with her, and they are glad to finally find
Hey, my baby. For more.
him. The bears greet the director, and the director thanks them for saving Boxo.
This nigga has not
Meekin
done anything
wonders
so
what
far.
Boxo is, and the director introduces Boxo as a resident of their village. Meekin wonders how a magic item could be a resident, but the director explains that Boxo can understand them. Meekin finds it hard to believe.
He's been
pointing out
responding
Boxo
to you this
can
entire
send random
time.
lines. But Llamas explains their communication system, and the bears are shocked to learn that he could understand them the whole time. They manage to get out of the labyrinth, and the director reveals they had a second objective besides saving him, mentioning that Kelroy's group wants to defeat the skeleton boss. Kelroy explains that everyone in his group has a goal, and they are determined to achieve them no matter what. He goes on to explain the legend of the labyrinth, where it's said that if you can reach the lowest level and meet the requirements, you can have any wish granted. Llamas wonders about the requirement, and Kelroy believes it's the coin that drops when a boss is defeated. Boxo is surprised to hear his coin is so valuable, and Kelroy says that among his group, they have 6 wishes that they want to achieve. They currently have 3 coins, and they have been going around to different areas whenever they hear that a boss has appeared. Kelroy knows he got a coin from the crocodile boss, and he suggests working together, saying it would even be possible for him to turn into a human. Llamas gets excited hearing this, and they end up agreeing to join Kelroy's group, but Boxo isn't quite sure about turning back into a human. They prepare to head back into the labyrinth, and the director shows them a map to prepare. Boxo notices it isn't quite accurate, and he manages to show the pictures he took when he was falling down. The director is impressed, and promises to give him a bonus when they get back. They head into the labyrinth, and they discuss the plan to defeat the skeleton boss. The director reveals a trap that was discovered by some other hunters, and they plan to lure the boss into the pit. Kelroy thinks it probably won't be enough to take it out, and its flaming body would melt any attacks that they try.
Throw water
So he
on
thinks
it.
about using Filmina's water magic and Boxo's water.
Yeah, baby,
to fill
throw
the pit,
water on it.
hoping to put out the boss's flames. He asks Boxo if he can produce enough water, but Boxo thinks,
No, nigga. See, we get film oil. We sprinkle with water. We get Boxo's dry ice. We sprinkle with ice. We freeze it.
if he just used his water bottles, it could
We freeze it.
take days to fill up.
You're lying to me. That's just stipulations you just added, nigga.
But he suddenly gets an idea, transforming into a pressure washing machine, and he's able to let out much more water. Everyone is impressed, but Boxo thinks about his limited transformation time. After 2 days, Boxo sprays water as a power washer for 2 hours each day, and has the bears throw in water bottles the rest of the time. Meekin gets lowered into the pit to check the water level, but it seems the ground has absorbed all of the water, and none of it is left.
Damn.
They're coming straight in. Trust me, I've got nothing.
The group becomes discouraged.
Hey, Valorant. Hey, Valorant. Sponsor me. Sponsor me, Valorant. Sponsor me.
But Boxo
Real quick, sponsor me.
comes up with another plan, turning into an ice machine, and he starts dumping ice into
That's
the
what I've been
pit.
saying!
At night, Llamas asks Boxo if there's something on his mind, because she has noticed that his light flickers when he's thinking.
You baby
She
girl.
asks how he feels about becoming a human, but Boxo isn't sure. He wants to be able to talk to her as a person, but as he thinks about becoming a human, he worries he will become useless. Everyone finds him incredibly useful, but he thinks that without his vending machine powers, people will no longer need him, so he's scared of this reality. Llamas tells him how she wants to be able to talk with him and cook for him, giving him the courage to want to be a human. After another few days, the pit is finally ready. Hulami wonders if the ice will be enough, thinking the boss's flames might instantly vaporize it all. The boss appears, and it starts to approach them. Meekin triggers the trap, and the boss falls right in. Hulami warns everyone to watch out for steam, but nothing comes out, and Meekin points out that the fire is out. Hulami wonders how it's possible, and it turns out Boxo actually filled the pit with dry ice, which actually caused the pit
I
to be
told
filled with
you!
carbon dioxide, and since fire can't burn without oxygen, the
Nigga!
fire was extinguished.
Nigga!
The group starts
Nigga!
throwing but
Nigga. I told you, Boxo stole my idea. Mine. I just wanted to feel vindication. I'm sorry. Just really wanted that vindication.
here. Kelroy's group starts looking at Boxo, thinking they could throw him, but Llamas refuses to let them do that. Kelroy thinks they could jump down and defeat it, since its flames are gone, but Boxo warns them not to go, because they won't be able to breathe. But the boss starts climbing up, and Kelroy thinks
the boss starts climbing up.
Boxo starts to panic, and he suddenly transforms into a magazine dispenser. Llamas becomes flustered, and she ends up slapping him, causing him to go flying, but he thanks her as he transforms into his heaviest form, smashing right through the boss.
Ooh.
The boss is defeated, and Boxo sucks up another boss coin. He uses his balloons and his cardboard form to fly out of the pit. Meekin closes the trap, and Boxo lands safely. Llamas tells him he was too reckless, but Boxo is just glad that everyone is safe. Kelroy asks about the boss's coin, and Boxo prepares to give it to him, but Hulami grabs it first, saying that the coin rightfully belongs to Boxo.
It does.
Kelroy agrees, and he offers to buy it for 100 gold coins. Boxo can't believe he offered so much, and he thinks he doesn't need more than one, so he agrees to sell it to Kelroy, and the group heads back to the village. They stop by the Hunters Association branch near the labyrinth,
That nigga want
and Kelroy's
money.
group leaves using a transfer circle. But Llamas and Hulami stay behind, because the director gave them a mission to survey the perimeter of the labyrinth. A hunter named Miguel enters, and all the girls are instantly charmed by him.
Damn, he got hoes.
Even Llamas thinks he must be some sort of hero.
Hoes?
Boxo gets a bit jealous.
He's still in
He asks for
hoes?
a map of the labyrinth, and the girls tell him it will.
That nigga's still in hoes. He's still in them hoes. It don't make no sense. That nigga's still in hoes. Miguel.
Llamas thinks he must be some sort of hero, and Boxo gets a bit jealous. He asks for a map of the labyrinth, and the girls tell him it will take a few days to give him an updated map, so he decides to come back another time. At night, we see that Miguel isn't quite the hero Llamas was thinking about, and we learn he only came to the labyrinth because he heard there weren't many people. He bumps into Boxo, and it turns out he gets nervous just talking to people. He doesn't know why
me for
everyone
real.
stares at him.
He just like me for real. Why y'all think y'all got this PNG of me? Exactly. One of these days I'll show y'all my true face. Not right now.
Finding it scary, and Boxo is surprised to see this is what he's
It's
really
too
like.
real. He just like me
He
for real.
starts having a nervous breakdown, and
For real.
Boxo feels bad for him, so he gives
Thanks,
him a drink
Boxo.
to help him calm down. The next day, Llamas tells Boxo that Miguel is joining them on their job. They head off together, but when Llamas tries to get to know Miguel, all he can do is play it cool and agree. When Hulami asks him questions as well, he gets nervous and ends up running off to
Stop
guard the
pressing my nigga.
Boxo feels bad for him, but it seems Miguel is trying to improve his communication skills.
Easily my favorite
After
character.
a week of traveling, Llamas seems to be feeling unwell. Hulami worries about her, telling her to ride on the cart, but Llamas decides to keep going.
Just ride on the
However,
cart.
She suddenly gets weak, but Miguel
Exactly.
catches her just in time. They stop for a break, and it turns out to be Llamas' time of the month. Boxo thinks about what he can do to help.
Give her
and
a
he turns
tampon.
into a hygiene product dispenser. Hulami wonders what his item can do, but when she sees how absorptive it is, she realizes how to use it. After that, Boxo even turns into a washing machine, and he takes care of all of Llamas' clothes. After 2 weeks of traveling together, Miguel has started warming up to the group, finally able to eat with everyone.
Okay,
He
good.
can smell something up ahead, and he tells the group to stop.
They're still here.
Mel senses
Yu-Gi-Oh!
it as
GX?
well, and he can tell there is a group of men up ahead.
Niggas trying to
Hulami
duel.
finds this strange because there shouldn't be anyone.
Why he got Converse on? What the fuck does this nigga do with Why does this bear have a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX uniform, have a fucking mullet, and Converse on? Why?
the middle of nowhere.
They got some
Miguel gets
all-stars.
hearing this, and he tells the group that the men are probably after him, so he thinks he should leave so he doesn't cause them trouble, but Llamas doesn't want to let him go. Hulami wonders why he is being targeted, but Miguel isn't able to say. Hulami tells him there's no need to worry about their safety, because Boxo will be able to protect them. Boxo shows off his barrier, and Hilami tells him to test it, telling him
Why this nigga? Why he got a tail? Why does his pants have a bro? The pants hold the tail. Okay.
him to stay if Boxo can block his attack. Miguel agrees to this, and he prepares to go all out. He unleashes a lightning dragon.
Damn.
Is able to stop it. It does
How?
500 points worth of damage, and Boxo is shocked it was so much, thinking it was almost
That nigga did 500 points worth of damage. Holy shit.
as strong as the crocodile boss's attack. They continue on foot, and Miguel can sense that there are 3 swordsmen and 2 magic users. Lamas is amazed he can sense them from so far away.
He liked
and we
that.
see the men approaching them. The leader reveals they are there for Miguel's life, and he wonders if Lamas and Meekin are his companions, but Miguel says they are unrelated, telling the man to leave them alone. The man agrees not to harm them if he doesn't resist, but Miguel doesn't trust him, so he decides to fight. Lamas and Meekin run off, drawing the 2 magic users. The mages attack, but Boxo blocks it with his barrier.
Good
He
shit.
then transforms into his washing mode, and Lamas sprays the men with water.
Ain't no way you a magic user and got sprayed with a jet of water and that's enough to push you back.
Attacks with soap,
Your ass soap.
blinding their vision, and she
Nigga, your ass. You have a mask on. Soap?
easily finishes them off. Miguel fights against the leader, but in an instant, he is able to take him out. Miguel thanks
You're more ass. How you gonna talk shit and get blitzed? What the fuck?
Lamas for her help, and he tells them to get the others while he gets information from the men. When they regroup, Miguel isn't able to say why he's being targeted, and he thinks it's too dangerous to keep traveling together, so he thinks it's time
Hero
to part
ass
ways.
nigga.
But Lamas suggests he should join Kelroy's group, saying they don't care about a person's past as long as they are strong. Miguel agrees to get in touch with them, but when he leaves, he just can't handle meeting more people.
Real shit.
The group makes it back to the village.
Me for
But
real.
when they check in at the guild, the clerk finds it strange because he thought Boxo was already back. It turns out that at the closed-down chain restaurant, there are some vending machines, but when they try it out, it's actually just a person inside, and they are just selling the food from the restaurant. Lamas and Hilami aren't impressed, and after a week of Boxo being back in the village, the restaurant is once again out of business.
No! Leave these niggas alone, bro. Leave my niggas alone. Let them just sell, bro. Damn.
Holds another meeting with the restaurant owners, and she suggests holding an eating competition. The repairs to the village are almost complete, so she thinks the contest would be a good way to attract more people. The other owners think it's a good idea, and they decide to hold it in 2 weeks' time. But after a week, we see the restaurant owners asking Boxo for help, and Hilami wonders if there's a problem with the contest. Munami says it was all
Give
going
these niggas
great
hot dogs.
until they realized that Sui and the band of bears would be entering, and they are all known for their insane appetites.
Yeah.
So the restaurant owners think they are going to go broke running the competition.
Give these niggas hot
Lamas
dogs.
wonders if Boxo can help them, and he ends up thinking of giving the contestants cola because the bubbles will fill them up.
No.
Lamas thinks the contestants might complain because the people drinking water will have an advantage. The owners decide to market the drink before the event at a higher price, and then on the day of the contest, they'll give it out for free, so the people will be more likely to want it. They all thank Boxo for his help, and Munami hopes he can continue
That
to
is
help
not
if
gonna
they
work.
have any more problems. On the day of the competition, we see the event has attracted a large amount of spectators, and Munami reveals there were so many entries that they need to have 2 preliminary rounds, with the top 5 of each group moving on to the finals. The first group of contestants take their place, and we see the band of bears are in this group.
Damn, this
Munami
should look
tells
good.
them they need to finish all the food before the time runs out.
I want it.
But after just a moment, the bears have already finished, taking 4 of the slots, and one of the hunters take the final spot. In the next group of contestants, we see Sui, and even Lamas is giving it a go. Munami starts the round, and Sui seems to be quite relaxed, but she devours her plate. and
Man,
she's
that
the
looks so
first to finish.
good. I'm so hungry right now.
Greetings, Agent. It's time to defy the odds and win more with Valorant Tracker. Learn from the best with video tips
Sponsor
and
me.
The time starts to run out, but we see Llamas manages to finish just in time. They move on to the finals, and Boxo has unlocked a new form, playing music as a jukebox to set the mood.
That's not a vending machine, though. I mean, I guess a jukebox could be a musical vending machine, technically. I guess that's not a stretch. That's not a stretch.
The contestants prepare to eat, and Munami tells them that whoever eats the most during the time limit will be the winner and get a special prize. They all start eating the food, and we see Sui easily devouring the first dish.
Damn, she is throwing
The
this shit
second
back.
dish is a fruit crepe, but she eats it all in a single bite.
Damn,
The
she's
bears
throwing that shit
manage to
back.
keep up with her, but she's just too fast, and she ends up winning the competition. She is given her prize, but when she opens it, she finds it's empty. However, Munami reveals that the prize is being able to use Boxo, and he will do anything she wants for a day. Boxo is surprised to
For
hear
a
this,
day?
but Munami begs him to go along with it and help.
You didn't even discuss it with him? I thought this shit was discussed before. What kind of bullshit? Bro, imagine you go to like a pageant or some shit. You watch to the end, and then the prize is you. Not discussed or anything. You the prize, nigga. Do whatever they say for a day or nothing.
Her out. The next day, Sui brags to Aka and Shiro about her prize.
What if he said
Kaoru
no?
gets excited,
I say
thinking
no
he
just
can use
because.
Boxo on Monster Hunt, but Sui says she isn't planning on sharing him, and she has other plans. They head into the original dungeon, and they reach a small house. There are a bunch of kids that come out to greet her, and her master Mia welcomes her back. Sui shows off Boxo to the kids, and they all try out his food. Boxo is happy seeing all their smiles, and he even turns into a balloon machine, giving them all balloons.
Not a balloon
After
machine.
that, Llamas plays with them, spraying them with water, and Boxo does their laundry afterward. Sui tells them to take a bath while they wait, but they find they are out of hot water.
Get him,
Mia thinks
Boxo.
They will need to skip baths for that day.
Nah,
but
y'all got
Boxo
it.
comes to the rescue, and he is able to fill it up with hot water. They all have a relaxing bath together, and Mia thanks Boxo for his help. At night, they have more of his food for dinner, and Llamas is glad they could make so many kids happy. After they all go to sleep, Sui thanks Boxo for everything that he did. She thinks it must have been expensive to give out so much food, and she promises to find a way to repay him, but he tells her it's not necessary. Sui goes on to talk about the original dungeon, saying it's the first place that everyone must go through, and the only way to leave is to make it to the transfer circle. There are
Yeah.
many children that
What's on
get
the outside,
abandoned here,
though?
and Sui reveals that her wish is for everyone here to be happy. Meanwhile, we see a group of men approaching, and it seems they are after Boxo, hearing he can produce unlimited food.
Bro, these bandits gotta fucking stop, bro. Damn.
Boxo thinks about waking everybody up, but he worries it could put the children in danger.
Yeah.
So he transforms into his dry ice machine, creating a fog which spooks the men, and then using his barrier, he fires ice at the men, causing them to run away. In the morning, Boxo shows the others what happened at night, and Sui recognizes them as former hunters who have a base nearby. Mia leaves Sui to watch the children, and she heads off to teach the men a lesson.
Damn.
Llamas wonders if she'll be okay by herself, but Sui notes that Mia is an expert hunter, and even Kelroy is afraid of her.
Kelroy afraid of
Llamas
everybody,
meets back up
though.
with Kelroy, but she freaks out when she finds out they are planning a campaign in the Dead Zone,
Why she had the fucking Umbrella Corporation eyes?
because it's an area filled with all kinds of skeletons and monsters, and Boxo is surprised to see her so scared. It seems Llamas is too terrified to go, so Kelroy wonders if there's any other way for them to take Boxo. Filmina
Why are you trying to
worries
take
about having
Boxo?
enough
Stop.
food during a long campaign while they are looking for the boss, but Llamas suddenly claims she isn't a child, saying she's not scared, and she agrees to go with them. They prepare to head off, but Llamas notices Filmina isn't with them. They tell her she scares easy, so she isn't coming along, and Llamas realizes she was tricked. They arrive in the Dead Zone, and we see all the
She's
buildings
tricked.
are abandoned. Llamas tries her best to keep her cool, and they arrive at the inn. Llamas is scared seeing a picture of a woman, but when she appears behind her, Llamas instantly passes out.
Ooh, we got a golf baddie?
Elroy takes her to one of the rooms, and Boxo is set up outside the inn. Hulami tells him more about how Llamas was even easier to scare when she was younger, and she can't believe Llamas hasn't already run away. At night, there are ghosts that appear.
Hey, go back to my golf baddie.
Surrounded by all kinds of monsters.
Damn.
But they just seem to be wandering around.
Okay.
He puts up his barrier just in case, and he decides to try out his undead repelling items.
What?
He starts off by throwing salt at them, but it seems to have no effect. So he transforms into a figurine machine, throwing statues and other religious items at the creatures, but that also does nothing. In the morning, Hulami checks on him, but is shocked when she sees all of his items on the floor, wondering what's going on. Sui and the others go out to explore, and Kelroy also leaves to find more reinforcements.
By himself?
Boxo is approached by the innkeeper, and she wonders
what
monsters. She explains that they envy the living, which is why they didn't even...
Hey, what you think about my monster? What you think about my monster? Bro. I'm gonna start right here, fuck it.
But when she hears a door opening, she dashes right back, hugging onto Boxo.
Damn!
She claims her job is to carry him around.
Llamas got that ass!
On taking him, and Hulami ends up letting her take him. Llamas tries her best, and Boxo realizes she's trying so hard to overcome her fears, just so they can be together.
Bro, she's trying to fuck this vending machine. It's crazy.
He smell of coffee to help relax her, and he plays music to calm her down. She shows off her newfound confidence to the others, and Hulami tells her she's ready for the next step, telling her to do it without Boxo, but she instantly refuses. Kelroy returns, and we see he has brought back the band of bears.
These niggas just got done playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Main character just got done main character.
Okay, it can't be that hard. How about generate?
Boxo wonders if he'll be able to communicate in such a big group, but it seems he has improved. The group has a meeting, and Kelroy reminds them that their goal is to defeat the boss of the area, the King of Souls, suggesting that they go out looking for it during the day.
See how she had so much ass before, but she got no ass now.
Just a while, they are soon surrounded by monsters. However, the group is prepared and is easily able to handle them. After several more days, the monsters seem to just ignore Boxo, but there is suddenly a zombie boy that approaches him. It seems the boy wants his food, so he ends up giving him a drink, but the boy just bites the bottle because he isn't able to open it, but he manages to get through. The next night, the same boy comes back, so Boxo gives him another drink. He keeps coming back every night, and Boxo starts to enjoy his visits. One night while camping outside during their exploration, Boxo wonders how the boy is doing, but the boy manages to find him. However, Akka and Shiro are on watch, and the boy gets taken out.
No!
This, but he knows it's not Akka's fault. They find he had a coin on him, and they wonder if he was trying to buy something. After some more time, the group has a lead on where the boss is. They start discussing their strategy. Kelroy reveals that the Soul King is a magic user that can use multiple different elements. Hulami wonders how he plans to deal with it, but Kelroy thinks
take out that
Boxo's
boy,
barrier
man?
would be the perfect defense against its magic. Boxo agrees with his plan, and they all have a toast before they
How
head
can
out.
Boxo agree with
The
shit?
group heads off, and they approach the Soul King's location.
I like how they showed the
scout
last
from a distance and
the
see the
ending
Soul
credits.
King, but there are also countless monsters in their way. Kelroy thinks they'll need to take them out before fighting the boss.
No, they
but
won't.
Sui thinks it'll be tough to fight so many.
No, they
Boxo
won't.
gets an idea, turning into a gasoline machine, and Hulami wonders what he's trying to tell them. She sprays out some of the gas, examining it, and they soon realize that it's flammable. The group prepares to fight, throwing bottles of the gas, covering all of the monsters, and the flaming skulls set everything on fire. The group charges through with Boxo's barrier, and they head straight for the boss. The Soul King attacks them with lightning magic, but Boxo's barrier manages to withstand it.
Boxo?
Sui attack, but the Soul King creates walls that stop
We're
the
the
attack,
main character.
and
We're
the walls
Miguel.
even split up the group. Llamas and Boxo are by themselves, but Llamas charges at the boss. The Soul King blasts her with ice, but Boxo easily blocks it. The Soul King is surprised they can stop his magic, and he tries using wind to blow them away, but Llamas is able to withstand it, thanks to her blessing of strength.
Okay.
The boss tries to bury her, splitting the ground underneath her, and Llamas starts to fall, but Boxo quickly transforms into cardboard, and Llamas manages to jump back out just before the ground closes. The Soul King prepares to attack again, but he's suddenly interrupted by an arrow, and we see the others boosting Sui up over the wall. Llamas takes her chance, and she uses Boxo to land a finishing blow. The group celebrates their victory, but we see the Soul King.
She lifted the vending machine over her head, and Roundhouse kicked that nigga with the weight of it all. What the fuck? He's like, what the fuck too? His face is also what the fuck?
On the floor cursing at them.
I'm saying,
Steps on him, preparing to
deal.
finish him off. But there's suddenly a darkness from the sky as a black orb drops onto them. Everyone panics, and Boxo's barrier
Miguel is the
takes
worst
massive
main character
damage,
ever.
but it eventually stops. Miguel and Calroy get back up, but when Calroy tries to grab his hat, there are vines that suddenly emerge, taking the Soul King's remains and forming an orb in the sky.
Oh my
The
god.
orb dissolves, and another skeleton monster emerges.
Damn.
It seems to know Boxo is from another world.
Ooh.
Llamas wonders who he is, so he introduces himself as the Netherlord. He examines the Soul King's coin, but finds no use for it and just throws it away. Llamas wonders what he is after, but the Netherlord says he's just hunting, just like they are hunting the dungeon bosses. Meanwhile, Miguel sneaks away, and he suddenly launches a surprise attack, but he gets blown away. Hulama
What?
rides in on the carriage, telling them all to run, and she throws a bottle of Boxo's gas. The Netherlord wonders what she's doing, but Sui follows up with a flaming arrow, causing an explosion. The group takes the chance to run, but the Netherlord blasts them, and he grabs Hulami, recognizing her as a threat. He grabs Sui as well, and he proceeds to shock them both. Llamas rushes to them, but she's too late, as the Netherlord drops them to the ground. Llamas is devastated at the sight, and she charges in, but the Netherlord avoids all of her attacks.
Of course.
Llamas wonders what they should do, and Boxo comes
Leave.
up with a plan.
Leave.
He worries that it might not work.
What?
The Netherlord counterattacks with his magic, but Boxo stops it just in time. Llamas tells him that she believes in him, giving him confidence. Boxo transforms into his balloon machine, filling his barrier with balloons, but the Netherlord tells them it's futile, as it charges up his ultimate technique. Boxo shoots out Llamas from his barrier, but he uses his balloons as a distraction. Llamas takes this chance, and she lands a kick on the Netherlord's staff, managing to shatter it. The Netherlord decides to retreat, and he disappears
Why?
with a cloud of dust. Llamas rushes to check up on Hulami.
Why did he retreat? He could have easily killed everyone there. Why did he retreat? Why did he retreat? That shit was ass.
Boxo realizes there's a chance to save them, and he turns into an emergency defibrillator. Llamas and Calroy are confused by his new form, and Boxo thinks there's no time to
Y'all
explain.
niggas were no way
So he
there.
quickly spends his points to learn the telekinesis skill, and he starts moving it with his mind. Boxo also spends the rest of his
Why did
points
you
to
not
boost
do
his
that
luck stat
earlier?
to increase the chance of success, and he shocks Hulami to jumpstart her heart. Boxo worries he was too late, but she ends up waking up. Sui is also saved, and Calroy is overjoyed. They make it back to the village and report to the director. The director notes that he has only read about the Netherlord from old records, but believes he's one of the Demon Lord's generals. Boxo gets worried hearing this, thinking the Demon Lord would be even stronger. Llamas returns to the inn, where Monami instantly rushes to her, wondering if she's okay, after fighting against a monster that was stronger than a dungeon boss. News of the encounter spreads throughout the village, and all the people praise Boxo for saving Hulami and Sui. Meanwhile, we see Miguel as he's approached by the bears. They wonder what he plans to do next.
Trying to
Miguel
duel him?
thinks about how he was defeated, but he swears to get even stronger so that he can protect his comrades. The bears are happy to hear this, and Meekin tells him that the director is even calling for backup, so there will be a ton of other hunters coming to help.
No, more
This only makes
people.
Miguel more nervous,
I'm
since he still
saying.
has trouble talking to new people. We see Calroy reflecting upon the encounter. He notes that he was ready to give up his
baby
life for
girl.
the sake of his wish, but after seeing Sui on the verge of death, he can't handle
What
his
is your
friends dying,
wish?
so he starts to reconsider his goal. But he's joined by the rest of his team, who say it was their own choice to follow him, so they tell him not to worry. The next day, we see Llamas walking with Boxo, but Boxo wonders where they are going. She ends up taking him back to the lake where they first met, and she reflects on everything they've been through together. She thanks him for always protecting her, but he thinks about how people were hurt in their last fight. However, Llamas tells him to focus on everything that he's done, and
That's
that it was
crazy.
all thanks to him that Sui and Hilami survived.
Yeah.
Boxo is touched by how much she cares about him, and Sui and Hilami suddenly appear. Llamas wonders what they are doing there, and the two suddenly kiss Boxo to thank him.
They are trying to.
Llamas starts freaking out.
It's
but
so
Hilami
wild.
tells her she should also thank him, since he has helped her the most. Llamas approaches Boxo, but she gets too embarrassed to do it. However, Sui and Hilami push her in, and she has a moment with Boxo. Llamas runs off, chasing after Hilami.
They trying to
and
fuck
Boxo
this
is
vending
left thinking
machine,
about
bro.
how his life being
They trying to
reincarnated
fuck
as a
this vending machine,
isn't
bro.
so bad. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and
I sure will, bro. I sure will. And you also remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, of course. Well, bye.
I got bees and baloney.